You may not be eating dessert, but your breakfast may still be full of sugar. The sugar is an apple, and sugar in soda are not handled the same way by your body. Some grocery foods look healthy, but they spike your insulin like candy. If your blood sugar is high, don't just blame sweets. Check your sauces, cereals, breads, and drinks. Sugar hides under more than 50 different names on food labels. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. PK. Today, we are talking about one of the most confusing topics in nutrition, sugar. Most people think sugar means only table sugar, candy, desserts, or soda. But sugar is hidden in many everyday grocery foods: breakfast cereal, flavored yogurt, ketchup, salad dressing, granola bars, protein bars, sauces, bread, coffee creamers, fruit juices, and even healthy looking snacks. And here's the key point: not all sugars behave the same way inside your body. Not all sugars behave the same way inside your body. The sugar is in an apple and the sugar in soda, the sugar in white bread, and the sugar in flavored yogurt may all become glucose in your body, but the speed and insulin response, liver effect, and metabolic damage can be very different. CDC explains the total sugar on a label includes both naturally occurring sugar and added sugar. For example, if a food has a 20 gram of total sugar and 15 grams of added sugar, only 5 grams came naturally from the food itself. Okay, so what are the main forms of sugar? Let's break sugar into simple categories. Glucose is the basic sugar your body uses for energy. When you eat bread, rice, potatoes, pasta, cereal, crackers, sweets, many of those carbohydrates eventually become sugar, become glucose, right? So glucose raises blood sugar directly. When blood sugar rises, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin works like a key that helps move glucose from blood into cells. But when glucose comes in too fast, especially from refined carbs, your body needs a bigger insulin response. That is why white bread, white rice, sugary cereal, and sweet drinks can cause a quick spike in blood sugar and insulin. Number two, fructose. Fructose is a sugar found naturally in fruits, but it is also found in high fructose corn syrup, fruit juices, soda, candy, sweetened drinks, and many processed food. And here's the important difference: fructose does not raise blood sugar as quickly as glucose, but it goes mainly to the liver. That means too much fructose, especially from soda, fruit juice, and processed foods, can increase liver fat production and worsen insulin resistance over time. That is what I always say. Whole fruit is different from fruit juice. An orange has fiber, water, chewing time, vitamins, and slower absorption. Orange juice removes most of the fiber and delivers sugar quickly. You can drink the sugar of 3, 4, or 5 oranges in one glass without feeling full. That's a metabolic problem. Sucrose. Sucrose is a regular table sugar. It is made of 50% glucose and 50% fructose. So when you eat table sugar, your body gets both blood sugar spike from glucose and liver processing burden from fructose. A common sources: white sugar, brown sugar, cane sugar, dessert, cookies, cakes, sweet tea, sweet coffee drinks. Now, lactose. Lactose is natural sugar in milk and dairy. It is made of glucose and galactose. Milk, plain yogurt, kefir contain natural lactose, but they also contain protein, calcium, and sometimes probiotics. The problem starts when dairy becomes heavily sweetened. Plain Greek yogurt may be a good option, but flavored yogurt can contain large amount of added sugar and behave more like dessert. Starch. Many people forget this. Starch is not called sugar on the label, but it becomes sugar inside the body. White bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, crackers, chips, cereals may not taste sweet, but many are broken down rapidly into glucose. That means they can spike blood sugar and insulin just like sugar. Harvard explains that glycemic index measures how strongly a carbohydrate containing food raises blood sugar. Foods with more processing tend to have a higher glycemic index, while foods with more fiber, fat, or intact structure usually raise blood sugar more slowly. So, what's the difference between natural sugar and added sugar? Is natural sugar better? Usually, yes, but only when it comes in its natural package. Whole fruit contains fiber, water, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, chewing resistance, and slower absorption. This is why berries, apples, pears, oranges, kiwi, guava are generally much better than candy or soda. But the portion matters. Eating one apple is different from eating five mangoes in one sitting or drinking a large fruit smoothie with juice and honey. Natural does not always mean unlimited. Fruit juice is one of the biggest traps. People think it's natural, so it must be healthy, but juice removes most of the fiber and makes sugar easy to overconsume. A glass of juice can raise blood sugar quickly, especially in people with prediabetes, diabetes, fatty liver, obesity, and insulin resistance. What is the better choice? Eat the fruit, don't drink the fruit. Honey, maple syrup, and agave. Now, they are often marketed as natural sweeteners, but metabolically, they are still sugar. Honey, maple syrup, agave, coconut sugar, and date syrup may sound healthier than white sugar, but your body still processes them as sugar. Agave is especially high in fructose, so it can be problematic when used frequently. Natural sweeteners are not free foods, they still count as added sugar. CDC notes that the added sugar include sweeteners, sugars from syrup, honey, and sugars from concentrated fruit or vegetable juices. Naturally occurring sugars in milk, fruits, and vegetables are not considered added sugar. What are the hidden sugar in grocery foods? Um, they are like, for example, in breakfast cereal, often marketed as healthy but loaded with added sugar. Granola contains sugar, honey, syrup, or chocolate. Protein bars, some are candy bars with protein added. Flavored yogurt, often high in added sugar. Ketchup, sugar is added for taste. Barbecue sauce, often very high sugar. Salad dressing has sweet vinaigrettes. Pasta sauce, sugar added to balance acidity. Coffee creamers, it has sugars, oils, and flavorings. Bottled smoothies, often high in sugar and low fiber. Sports drink, sugar water, unless truly needed for endurance activity. Low fat foods, fat is removed and sugar is added for taste. That is why label reading is so important. FDA requires added sugar be listed on the nutritional fact label. The dietary guidelines recommend limiting added sugar to less than 10% of total daily calories. For 2000 calories diet, that's equal about 50 gram of added sugar per day. What are the name of sugars on labels? Look for these words: cane sugar, brown sugar, raw sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, glucose syrup, rice syrup, barley malt, molasses, honey, agave nectar, fruit juice concentrate, evaporated cane juice, coconut sugar, date syrup. I mean, if the ingredient ends in OSE, it is usually sugar. Glucose, fructose, dextrose, maltose, sucrose, these are all sugars. So let's make this simple. When you eat fast, digesting carbohydrate, blood sugar rises quickly. Your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin helps bring sugar down, but when this happens too often, several problems can develop. Your body needs more insulin to control the same amount of sugar. Cells become less responsive to insulin. Hunger comes back faster. Um, Fat storage increases. Triglyceride may rise. Fatty liver can worsen. Pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes risk goes up. And this is called insulin resistance. The danger is that your fasting sugar may look okay for years while insulin levels are already high. That is why many people gain belly fat, feel tired after meals, and crave sweets. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next follow up video. I'm Dr. PK.